Alright, welcome back. Let's get straight into some racing here at Suzuka. See, I've qualified in first place in the McLaren. And hopefully we have a good race here. But spoiler alert, it's not that great. Finishing out the first lap, you can see I've managed to put a little bit of distance between myself and P2 and P3, who actually swapped positions there in the background. But moving on to the end of lap 3, you can see as I just drop a wheel in the grass there, I get a nice little sideways moment through 130R, but managed to keep it under control. It does, however, allow the Corvette to really close the gap on me and put the pressure on going into lap 4. The top 3 running real tight through the S's and just about leaving the rest of the field behind. I managed to succumb to a little bit of the pressure and just got on the power a little bit too early through this turn, understeering and dropping a wheel in the grass, and it just sucked me right into the gravel trap. After dropping 4 spots, I try to regain my composure, but on dirty tires I went a little wide over the rumble strip there and just got a little tap from the Lamborghini and sent me for a spin. Trying to regain composure again without losing too many positions, I once again accelerate and the Porsche just drives right into the back of me like I'm not there, sending me flying into the gravel trap again, as well as himself, thus ending what could have ended up being a really good race since I started in pole position. He was real close to snagging that. As we start the race in first again, notice right away that the Ferrari is very fast off the rolling start, so I move to the right to defend into the first turn, and he was only 0.04 seconds off of my qualifying time, so I knew he was going to be really quick, and he put the pressure on immediately. I fell victim to the pressure and misjudged my braking on cold tires into Degner 1. Ended up dropping the wheel in the sand, and he got right past me. Still with dirty tires, very slow through the hairpin, the Mercedes decides to just push his way right on up to second place, and this has got me extra flustered. So I'm still slower, and I'm also stressed out. I lose out another place to Method 13 Junior here in the GTR, and I almost lose another place to Viper, but he checks up and pulls back in line. I'm not sure if the Supra misjudged his braking zone here or was trying to go for a move, but he dove straight past the Viper and into the back of me, pushing me under the green, and hit me again to, I guess maybe help me out after slowing me down the first time. I'm not sure. But this is not the only incident involving this Brazilian here in the Supra. We'll see what he gets involved in later on in the race. Skipping ahead to lap 3, you'll see that for some reason, Degner 1 and 2 were just my absolute nemesis for this series. But it was a pretty cool drift across the grass. Did manage to lose a position to the Mercedes, though. After chasing the Mercedes down for a couple laps, I finally managed to get within slipstream range and catch up to a point where I could possibly make a move. I went a little late on the brakes into the chicane, and went off onto the green, and then I ended up giving him a little tap. So instead of just overtaking him, I backed off to give him that position because I didn't want any unfair overtakes. After a couple more laps of chasing down the Mercedes, catch up, but I get on the power a little too quickly through the hairpin and just have an oversteer moment there. And when I try to correct, I ended up in the grass, costing myself 2 more positions. And then I pulled out right in front of the Viper, and unfortunately for him, I've been in his way multiple times throughout the day, so I just kind of pulled aside and let him pass, and then I lost another position to the Ferrari there as well. So now I'm back into P9. Will I be able to recover from this? Oh gosh, I hope so. Skipping ahead a lap, you can see that I've managed to catch up to the Ferrari, and I may be able to make a move pretty soon. But jumping into slow-mo here, you can see a GTR being pushed off into the sand. We're going to take a look at what happened here. This incident, unsurprisingly, is involving the Brazilian in the Supra from earlier. Let's jump on board with the Viper, who's got a better view of the situation. It looks like the Supra clipped GTR, and the GTR went into the sand and then decided to retaliate by ramming. And spinning himself out in the process. I don't really know what happened there, but hey, I'll take those 2 spots. On with the race. Jumping ahead to the end of lap 10, Andrew takes his Ferrari into pit lane, as well as a few others, to take some wet weather tires, which puts me up into 3rd place currently, just ahead of the race leader. Skipping to the end of the lap here, you'll see that there is a bit of standing water in Spoon Curve. This is the reason that people were pulling into the pits on lap 10 to take tires, but it's really just that corner of the track at this time. So I decided to stay out an extra lap on the hards to maximize the amount of time on the grippier tires before switching to wet weather tires at the end of this lap. I didn't really appreciate the nudge by the Argentinian in the Mercedes there, but he did pit the lap before I did, so his tires were warm and mine were still coming up to temp. And at least he didn't push me off into the grass or anything, so we keep on racing incident free. There's a lot of water in Spoon Curve now, and a pretty big slide from me, as well as a little wiggle from the Ferrari behind. It's very, very wet now, so he does get a better run on me though, and we go too wide down the straight here towards 130R, which never really ends up well, but somehow we managed to both make it through totally okay. Andrew does manage to brake a little too late there and tap me off. I really feel like he should have waited up for me there, but he didn't. That's pretty unfortunate. Just don't really know what's up with Brazilian drivers and being really unsportsmanlike. A little further on in the lap as we're approaching Spoon, there's a yellow flag, and as you can see in the distance there, the GTR has had a really big moment. Thankfully he ghosted as he was on the dry line, and I couldn't really avoid him without crashing myself as well. And I am also going to lap P14 there as he serves a penalty. Moving ahead now to the final lap here, where I finish in 7th, almost lapping 13th place. Not the greatest result overall, but it was a very strenuous race, and I'm just happy that it's over with. But what I really want to do now is take a look at what happened with the Supra and the GTR. It looks like the Supra just went for a really late dive and into the green like he's done previously. And as the GTR wanted to come around, he just tapped him a little bit, which sent the GTR off. Okay, yeah, that's a real late move. And so when he was trying to get back on the track, he just tapped the GTR off into the sand. But then it sort of looks like the Supra wanted to go into the pit. In fact, what is he... What the hell is he doing? He wants to go into the pit. He was trying to get into the pit, and I guess the GTR was just trying to get back on the track, so he didn't intentionally ram him, after all. He got a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit line. Now, what is he doing? Now he's reversing with people coming by. What is this guy doing? Sir, are you okay? Oh, he got reset onto the track and has now decided that since he's in last place, you know what? Just fuck it. I am not going to get into the pit. I'm just going to go around again.